Alright, today we're doing some grinding out on the hole. Have a pretty good amount of blisters. And if you look at all the places where I've painted, it gives you a good idea of the work I've got to do today. So I've already gotten the port side done. So if you look where I've grinded out, some of them were actually pretty small, but you really need to sand out a good bit and grind out a good bit of glass around the sides of it to lay in your glass to give it enough bonding strength. Alright, so I'm going to show you, and look, it looks bad, it looks worse than what it really is. All boats have it, man. I mean, any older boat, you're gonna have osmosis, you're gonna get blisters. It's just the facts of life. All right, so if you look right here, it's still a little damp right there, but where I just grinded out, let me move this stuff out the way, where I just grinded out, the spot right here, which started actually right here, I grinded it out and got it clean glass, and then you look down here and you see where it's damp. All right, so the moisture is inside the glass, so when I poke into it, you can see, it's hard to see on camera, but and a lot of it's drying out, which is great. Yeah, so some of it is, yeah, so you can see it right there. So there's moisture in there, so what I have to do, I'll get my scraper, and look, don't cringe, I know it looks bad, but all that, look, it's a fiberglass boat, guys. You're not gonna hurt it. Lay in more glass and it'll be fine. I know the camera's shaking because I'm jerking around. So what I'll do is I'll grind some more on that and smooth it out to where it's all clean looking like this up here, because you definitely don't want that damp, because after you paint and put your antifoulant on, you'll start seeing little bubbles come out of the paint. So yeah, that's gonna be the project for today. Becky's inside in the cabin sanding the galley area and a few other things, trying to get that taken care of. But majority of the really bad spots was on the was on this side, and they're much larger, which is fine. I gotta grind that stuff out anyway, it's not a big deal. And then once some of them are smaller, and the smaller, size is, about the size of a pencil or maybe a little bigger. I can feel some interlocks, but the larger ones, there's definitely gonna have to have glass laid into those, because you need that bonding strength in your hull. Because the more mils that you take out of your glass, it takes out structural integrity of the boat. Alright. So in the next few hours, which I'm moving pretty quick, that new grinder I got from, I bought one from Harbor Freight this morning, which I'm not big on buying power tools and stuff from Harbor Freight, but stuff that's disposable, and I say disposable, this stuff's still not cheap. It's like 30-40 bucks for a little, so like a 4.5 inch grinder with these, hold on, I'll show you. With these, I can't remember what they call them, but you get the idea. These things work great. Oh man, look, if I would have had this thing on our last boat, man, there would have been nothing to get done. But you live and you learn, you make mistakes, and you figure out different ways to do things. And this thing is, I'm flying. I've already gotten this whole entire side done, which I probably still need to take out a little bit more around the edges, but I kind of want to be careful and I don't want to take too much out, so I may take my little orbital hand sander and just get around the edges to expose more glass before I get ready to start putting resin and fiberglass in. Yeah, that's what we're working on. I should be done with the grinding probably by lunchtime, if I don't come across anything else, which we always do. So that's what we're working with. Like I said, if she gets done with the galley today, we may be able to start putting the wood conditioner on and then the stain, and maybe I'll be able to put on the coat of varnish today. So yeah, that's our morning. It's about, I don't know, it's about 10 o'clock or so. We got started early this morning, but had to go run some errands, pick up some stuff for the boat, pick up some tools. Like I said, stuff like this, we're not planning on keeping on the boat, like the grinder and stuff like that. I try to keep, I usually use DeWalt stuff. And I'm not lobbying for them or anything, but I've always used their tools, especially their cordless stuff. But stuff like sanders and grinders and stuff like that, you know, I'm not planning on using regularly. So I'm not going to spend a ton of money on 20-volt cordless sanders and stuff, because I don't plan on sanding all the time. It's just not something I like to do. Alright, that's it. And hopefully I'll post a video for you guys later on this afternoon and show you some of the progress we've got. Oh, I did order the portholes today for the windows. For those of you that aren't sailors, those are portholes. You would not believe the ungodly amount I spent on those. And these are for the cheap ones. The ones that like are stainless, you're talking about, for each one of those, about $200 or $300 a piece. And we just dropped like probably $1,400 on some composite ones. And I had to order from 2 different places because the boatyard has a marine pro account with West Marine, and apparently the distributor no longer carries, you know, this size. So I went on Amazon, and luckily I found some pretty cheap ones on Amazon, which I say cheap, it's not cheap, $130 a piece, but compared to what West Marine was wanting for a specialty item, it was like between $220 and $280 a piece for the smaller ones. So I went on Amazon and I ordered another one from like a fishery supply place, and they carried the same ones that we were looking for in the same size. So they should be in between beginning of next week and like Friday. So you know, I would love to have them this weekend, be able to put them in, but you know, it is what it is, you know. Yeah, and then we'll get her watertight up, you know, on the sides, and start preparing to get the top job done, because I'm tired of looking at that gray, you know. Ready to get her sprayed down, but we got to sand the top coat it down again, and reprime, and any kind of epoxy work. We got to do some little small you know, little pinholes and stuff like that to fill that stuff up, which majority of that's going to be covered up with non-skid. So yeah, I'm ready to get her painted, man. She's going to look good when we get done with her. Alright guys, thanks for watching. I know the video was long, I was kind of rambling, but I'll post later on this afternoon and maybe post some pictures.